Have you ever gone through that time period where you fell off and hadn't been at the gym for months, hadn't worked out, you put on 15 or 20 pounds, and now you're kind of embarrassed to go back to the gym? Kind of embarrassed to go to this gym that you've been a member of for a while. People know you in there, but they've also seen you in really good shape. Maybe you had a baby, maybe you just went through some life-altering situations, and now you don't look the same. So you feel embarrassed to go back in the gym. Well, I've been there and I've done that. So we're gonna talk about a few ways that we can get through this process, man, get through this little time period, because it is something that will pop up from time to time. We are human and we do fall off, right? But the important thing is we got to get back on the horse. Now, hopefully we can keep from going through these periods of time. But when we do, we got to know how to handle it, right? And we got to know how to maybe coach a friend or a partner how to get through this time as well when they go through it, all right? So, number one, let's be clear about something. You know, everybody at some point has put on a couple extra pounds. These people that you see at the gym specifically, right? And it looks like they never gain any weight, they never go through anything. That's what you see. Because if a person disappears from the gym, out of the, 50 to 60 people that are in the gym every time you go there, if somebody just disappears, you wouldn't notice they were gone. So if they go through a period of time for 2 or 3 months that they haven't been there, maybe even 6 months, you might not notice that they're not there. So what happens is they get back in shape, however they get back in shape, and then you see them again, and you think that they haven't gone through anything. But the truth is that they have. So just like you, they had to go through this process of re-entering the situation, all right? Now, how do we re-enter the situation and not feel super embarrassed about being overweight or being out of shape? I think first off, we have to realize that, most people aren't assessing you as much as you're assessing yourself. So when you walk past the mirror, you're looking at certain things, you're looking at your problem areas, you're looking at what you used to, you're thinking about what you used to look like, you're envisioning the body that you want to have, and you're unhappy about where you are right now. When people look at you, that's not what they see. They see what you are right now, right? And far too many people don't know where you were. So you might have put on 20 or 30 pounds and you do look different. But these people don't remember that, okay? So you're overanalyzing how everybody sees you. That's the first problem that we have. Most people are at the gym focusing on themselves. That's why there's a ton of mirrors, guys, because people like to look at themselves while they work out, myself included. So what'll happen is I'm so focused on myself in the gym that if I were to walk out of the gym 5 minutes later and they said, hey, there was a person working out beside you, what color was their shirt? I probably couldn't tell you, because that's how much I'm focused on me. And that's what I should be focused on, is me. I'm there to make myself better. I'm not there to make other people better. Just being honest with you, right? Most of the time, people are very, very, very focused on themselves, and way too focused on themselves to notice your positives or negatives. Also, what I realized, because I went through this before as well, coming back in the gym, being off for 5 months and just feeling like crap and feeling like, man, I don't look like I used to. People are way more happy to see you than what you would think, because they don't realize that they hadn't seen you. And then when they do, they're like, oh man, where you been? Now, these might be people that never spoke to you in the gym, which is kind of crazy, because you're like, we never have conversation. What do you mean, where have I been? But as much as people aren't super focused on your progress or lack thereof, they do notice, how can I say this? They do count on seeing you, okay? So it's just like when you go to a certain deli, you may not talk to the butcher in the back, right? You might not talk to every cashier in there, or every consumer in the building, but you're used to seeing them there. So if nobody's there when you walk in, you would miss them. And that's how it is in the gym. People get used to seeing you at the same time, because normally we go at the same times every day. We work out for the same length of time, and a lot of us work out in the same areas. So people get used to seeing you, although they're not assessing your damage or lack thereof, right? So People are happy to see you when you come back in the gym. They're normally pretty happy to see you. Also, what I did wrong plenty of times, right, was trying to start back where I left off. And that's on every machine. That's with every exercise. That's with every movement. Guys, if you take off for, I'd say even 3 months, let's say it's 90 days, you cannot expect to jump right back in where you were. So if you were able to do 20 push-ups in one setting, for one set, it's going to be hard for you to perform 20 push-ups. That does not mean you're not going to get back to that. But we just have to be humble enough to say, I'm not where I used to be. I can get back there, but I just got to start small. Guys, there's nothing wrong with starting small. And what we'll do is we come back in the gym. We want to be able to perform 10 sets of 20 push-ups like we were 6 months ago. And then when we can't, we get discouraged. We shouldn't expect to be exactly where you were before. You haven't tested those muscle fibers in the same fashion for a couple months now, right? You've been sedentary, you haven't been moving. Most likely you weren't eating correctly. You weren't giving your body the necessary macronutrients, micronutrients that it needs to build muscle during that time. So you can't expect to be where you were. So we make that big mistake and then we get super discouraged, right? We feel super duper duper down on ourselves because we are not where we were, and then we start feeling as though we'll never get back there. That's the most damaging part to it. We feel like we'll never get back there. And that's not the truth, guys. We also have to remember that we don't have to become that you, right? We're trying to become a better you. So let's just say you were 180 pounds and you were able to do 20 push-ups each set. The goal shouldn't be to get back to the 180 pounds performing 20 push-ups each set. The goal should be to get farther than that. Where do you want to go?